Hi, it's Nathan and Rachel from I Need IVF, and we're here today with an exciting thing. We're going to be reviewing the Sperm home test kit, which I'm very, very excited about. Just a little disclaimer, this is not a sponsored post, they didn't pay for it. They did send us this product free of charge, but there's no affiliate links with them at all, so this is completely and utterly our own opinion of the product. And in fact, this is the first time, even though it looks open, I got here and I decided I actually was going to open it on camera. So, should we do it?
Let's see what we've got.
So we've got an exciting little bit. I won't show you that because it's got our address on it, which I'm sure nobody else wants to see. So it's come well packed, I'll let you see. It's got a giant bit of pink foam in there. And if we remove pink foam, we're met with a very exciting box. And what's in there, right?
Let's have a look.
So, we have...
You do that one.
Oh, yeah, you've got that one. Yep, so that's everything. So it comes really, really well packed, which is good. So here I've got Sperm test.
Lovely.
I'm loving that. Check your swimmers. You ready, boys?
Absolutely. And I have got the refill pack.
Yes.
Woohoo.
So from the very small amount that I've actually looked into it so far, essentially this is a reusable kit which you can attach to, I think they've got iPhones, Samsungs, computers and Macs at the moment. So and from what I've gathered, it checks your concentration and also the motility of your sperm, which is really, really exciting. So I've got some product information, product instructions.
The important cup.
Let you see it a bit closer.
Lovely little
Do you
plastic.
think that'll be enough?
It should be. It's very similar to what us ladies sometimes get for peeing. So.
Ooh. And a little device that I'm sure we'll work out how to use shortly.
Yeah, so it looks like it's got a universal.
Yeah, USB. I'll let you have a look
That's
at.
not a USB, is it?
Is it not? No, it's not.
One of the universal charging.
Which looks very exciting.
I'm so technical.
What have you got in yours?
So in my refill pack, I have another plastic cup.
And anything else?
And a bag.
Some more instructions.
Yeah, and this bag, which says, I have to read it backwards.
There's more. I have
some kind of storage bag.
A connection, which also has phone-specific connections, which is exciting.
Oh,
and there we go. And I've also got some additional testing supplies, which we'll open up and have a quick look at. Okay, so it has the slide that's required, as well as this, which I think is like their liquefying agent, which means that they can actually test it.
And I've got two of those in mine as well.
Exciting
so we've got
stuff.
Enough for what? 4 tests?
4 tests by the look of it. So what we're going to do is we're going to cut the video there. We're going to read the instructions and we'll be back in a minute. We've read the instructions and I think we're ready to go for it. Or more importantly, I am.
I'm about to say.
It does explicitly state do not use condoms, which could make it awkward, or your partner.
Or lubricant.
Or lubricant.
So,
I was most disappointed with not being able to use my partner. So, so I'm going to take this little cup, and I'm afraid this little bit is not for your viewing pleasure? Displeasure? Displeasure. So I'll see you shortly. So we're back. We went to use my phone, but unfortunately my phone is not working, and it's nothing to do with the app. It's my port where I try and charge it and plug things in has died. So we're actually going to have to use the computer. So we've just set up a little bit of a screen share for you so you can follow on the little journey. But in theory, it's very easy to do. We're just literally following the instructions, which tells us how to actually download it. So we need the Windows and Mac. That's correct. Download that and install that. But while we're sort of waiting for that, one of the things that's important to note whenever you're doing any form of sort of semen and sperm analysis is that you abstain for at least 2 days. 2 to 3 is sort of perfect, really.
But it shouldn't be more than 6 days.
No, because otherwise you start having issues with dead sperm and things like that in there as well. So I collected my little sample, which is mighty exciting, and we're going to do all of this with you on camera once this is downloaded, which it appears to be now. Very swish. We got a bit of yo sperm. So we're going to start testing next. Read this. I already read this on my phone. Pretty standard stuff, just to know that they're going to keep it. So start testing. Remove the following supplies from your yo kit. Yeah.
We've done that.
Ready to start. Enter your yo device ID. Done. Let's check that's all connected.
Awesome.
Brilliant. Read the we have done that. In fact, we have them in front of us. Collect the sample and container provided. Do not use a condom, lubricants, cream, or partners. I did not do any of those things. Okay, so pour 1 vial of the liquefying powder into the collected sample. So it comes in this little tube. You click it up.
Do you want to show it closer to them?
Yeah.
It's a really tiny screen.
I'll try not to bring my sample too close. But you've got the little powder, which if I move my fingers you can see, it's a tiny little bit of red powder in the base, which we then pour all of it in there.
Yeah. And then...
So I've got to rotate it for 10 to 15 seconds. And in fact, I don't know if you can see that on camera, but it's gone much runnier already and a beautiful shade of cherryade pink.
Yeah.
So gentle circular motion for 10 to 15 seconds.
Sit back here with me.
Yeah. So, do you think that's 10 to 15 seconds, my love?
I think so, and that looks appropriately non-spermy.
You said it doesn't come out pink?
Well, that I ever noticed before.
Okay, so the next bit is someone needs to rest for 10 seconds.
10 minutes.
10 minutes. Click go.
Start the timer.
Start the timer. So we've started it.
And we are going to cut this now. And
now we've got a yo sperm trivia challenge. Oh. What is the oval hat structure worn by a sperm? That is an acrosome. It's involved in the acrosome reaction, which allows the sperm to actually penetrate the zona in the egg. What is the approximate percentage of sperm cells in semen? Oh, I actually wrote an article about this very recently, and I believe it's 2 to 5%. Yes. Oh. Can non-moving fertilise an egg? Not naturally, but through IVF, yes.
So
they've said yes. Not exactly. See, I was right. No, it is not.
How rude.
I think it's a good thing though, because they're getting people talking about it.
Absolutely.
Do sperms swim in a late straight line?
Yours don't. They go round in circles.
I always picture my, because I have problems with normal forms, so I imagine them with 2 tails swimming in left-handed circles always. So I'm going to go with no for that one. The rest swim around in circles.
Yes, only about 50% of sperm swim in a straight line. There we go.
Oh, we got 87% right. Okay, next. So now we're on to the important, exciting bit. Mix the sample gently for 10 to 15 seconds. And pinch the bulb of the pipette. Place the tip into your sample, then release the bulb, pinch as shown. So in and release into the sample. Place the slide face up on a white surface, which you've done, haven't you?
Yeah.
Place the pipette tip on the red dot and pinch slowly.
Sample may take 15 seconds to fill the slide.
There she goes. Okay, so that bit takes a little bit of time for it to start to permeate underneath.
Yeah, you can just see like a slight pink tinge kind of running into the slide now.
And then it just says wipe, or you can read it. Very gently. Okay, without touching the sample area of the slide, insert the slide face up into the yo device until it stops. There you go. And it's just stopped. So we take that, press start testing.
Yeah, let's do it.
It'll be interesting to see what this says, because I've had low count, I've had a good count, I've had my mobile sperm have always been around normal.
Yeah.
If I've got a low count, even if my sperm count, if I've got a low count and my mobility is fine, it still might show that the total mobile sperm is less than it should be. And I've had no normal form issues, but this obviously wouldn't pick that up.
You haven't actually had a sperm analysis since
IVF.
IVF, yes. So it's been, approximately 9 months.
Ooh, there's my little spermies. There we go. So, moderate to normal mobile sperm count range. So what does this mean? It means that I've got greater than 6 million sperm per millimetre. This is considered to be within the normal range, which is great news. It's partly what I expected, because as I said, my swimmers have always swum. I have other issues, but they do swim. So that's really, really positive. But it's great to be able to see a video of what they look like. So let's just minimise that. Have a good look, shall we? But there you can see one there moving around quite clearly, smack in the middle, with the head and the tail, which is really quite cool.
Some very active ones going on down there somewhere.
There are, yeah. This is fab, being able to see that. This one's going mad, isn't he? Definitely not in a straight line though.
Cool. Yeah. I like that.
Do you know, I think this is one of these things that, from a diagnostic at home point of view, it does have some merit, especially with the concentration, the mobile sperm. That's a really positive thing. But also, just seeing it helps engage you in the conversation. It brings it to life, because obviously it's microscopic, you can't see it. That looks like they're trying to attack something. But I mean, they're really quite fabulous. So you can zoom right in, which is really cool. Yeah. So you can have a good look.
They're moving and grooving, aren't they?
They are, yeah. We'll jump off camera and we'll get everything disconnected and sorted it, and then we'll come back and talk about it in a little bit more detail. So we've packed everything away as per the instructions. You can get specific information about what does it mean. If you've got a low range, what does that specifically mean? Yeah. And how it's sort of calculated. You've got obviously my test results. You can watch and save your video, which is quite useful. Yeah. You've got your Yo score. Let's have a look at my Yo score. So that's 50. So 50 on a scale of 100 of men who've fathered children. It's a comparison between thousands of men who fathered children, and it's based on the findings of a WHO study, which is rather exciting.
Who is the World Health Organization, for those of you who know?
So Rach, while I quickly just pull up something, what's your initial thoughts on it?
So I really like it. I love that you can actually see your sperm. I think it's quite helpful getting some kind of rating to give you an idea of where you're at, although you have to read into it more to understand what it actually means.
Yeah.
It's quite simple and easy to use, didn't have any problems with it.
No, didn't at all.
Overall, I like that Nathan is just looking up.
I am, so I'm looking on Amazon at the moment. It's set at 56.25, so they've got different types of tests depending on what you use. So this is their refill kit. Their refill kit is 50 quid, which, to be fair, when you think about the reusability of it, the technology behind it with the microscope in there, the analysis, the algorithm, it's not cheap. Absolutely, it's not the cheapest option. But I think the fact that it doesn't just track your concentration like a lot of sperm tests do. I think the fact that you also look specifically at the motility and the actual motile sperm, it sort of looks at more than one factor, which is what a lot of home sperm tests actually do. The one thing that I also really, really do like about it is the sort of the Yo score is quite nice. It gives you sort of an average of how you sort of compare to sort of the rest of the population, so I'm pretty much smack bang in the average. I think one of the things that it potentially could be used for is tracking lifestyle changes, especially if you're a smoker or a heavy drinker, that whether your sperm will improve over time after you stop those. Obviously, just be aware that it takes 2.5 months, as we saw in the quiz, for sperm to sort of regenerate. So you'd have to give it that length of time to start seeing those improvements come through. But it could have quite a useful impact. I think the other good thing about it is something we just did as a couple. It's completely new to us. We hadn't used it before. But it got us talking about stuff, didn't it? And I think that's a really big part of home sperm testing.
Yeah.
Is if I'd got a 0 result, I could have gone to the doctors tomorrow and it would have saved us 2 years of trying for no reason.
Yeah.
If I got a low result, then I could work on some lifestyle factors, or I could go and seek a GP appointment if I thought that was right.
And then obviously once you go to your GP, they'll send you for a full sperm analysis and you can get more information. So it won't just look at what this looks at, which is your motile kind of sperm count. It will look at your normal forms, which obviously, as we've mentioned before, is something Nathan has issues with.
Just going to have a look at the pricing on their specific website as well, because obviously we're in the UK, and I think they are an American company. I know they ship all over the world, but there we go. So you can see they're sort of about the same sort of price, actually, about $70 for those in America who are watching. But I think overall, I was very impressed with it. Effectively, it's £25 a test, which I don't think is OTT for the level of complexity.
Yeah.
If I compare that to something like OvuSense, which is obviously a fertility tracker that you used, and what was the monthly subscription on that?
About £20, I think.
So when you compare it to something like that, where over our fertility journey we probably spent, I don't know, 250 quid on OvuSense and more on other testings and everything else. I think for the fact you get two kits in there, so it's about £25 or $30 per test. I don't think that's a bad price at all, really. And it's not something you're going to do every day.
No, exactly.
And I think that's absolutely key.
I mean, they say the most often they advise you do this test is every 70 to 80 days.
Yes.
So if you've got 2 tests and you've got, a good 6 months or so of testing.
Absolutely, but I think it gets a thumbs up from me.
Yeah, no, definitely. I've been really impressed with it. I like the information it gives you. I like the fact that you've got like an account and you can, save each of your tests, so you'll be able to compare later on, and you'll be able to kind of see how you match up to other men, which I think is really helpful. And like you say, it just gives you an indication of whether there could be something wrong. I mean, there's no guarantees that this is going to pick up all problems, because obviously it doesn't test the full range of things. Because it can't, because we just don't have that ability. No.
The technology is not there to do that.
No, exactly. The technology just isn't there to do that at home.
It's getting us engaged in the conversation. If you've been trying for 3-6 months and you've had no luck, you're young, you're more likely to have got pregnant than not got pregnant after 6 months.
Yeah.
You choosing as a man to say, you know what, I'm going to take control of my own fertility as well and check it is really, really important. There's still a bit of a societal problem with regards to if I can perform, I'm fertile, or if I can't perform, I'm infertile. There's no correlation between the two at all. But this just empowers you to know a little bit more about your own male fertility. So from me, for that reason, the fact that it was very easy to use. We couldn't use it on the phone, but then we were able to immediately switch to the computer was great. It's got an account, it tracks your score. The fact you actually get to visualise and see your own sperm, all of those things were a positive for me. The price might put some people off potentially. I don't think it's too bad when you compare it to other products that would do the same thing, or lesser products that just track concentration, or you compare it to female fertility trackers. I think ultimately it's FDA approved, which is a really, really good sign. That shows that the FDA agree that the quality of the tracking of the motile sperm is really, really good. So I think for me, ultimately, it gets a thumbs up. I would certainly use it when we're next trying to conceive, and for lifestyle tracking. And anything else from you?
No, I think that covers everything. I've been quite impressed with it, and I think hopefully maybe we'll come back in a few months and do another one and just compare.
Absolutely.
See how things are going, and Nathan's planning on making a couple of lifestyle changes in coming months, and we'll be able to talk to you about how that's gone and whether that's made any impact.
Absolutely. So if you enjoyed this video, smash that like button, and give us a subscription. We'd love to have you on board. And let us know whether you've had any experiences with home sperm testing at all.
Yeah.
Thanks for watching.